on hold. Well, I had to wait 20 minutes and I finally got a hold of a person who calls herself V. She was Asian, probably Vietnamese, I'm not quite sure which one, but she sounded kind of Vietnamese, and she could hardly speak English, she could hardly understand English, and I'm thinking, oh my God. She said, let me transfer you to something, and then they gave me an after-service survey, which I gave them all my inputs of numbers of dissatisfaction. I have been to the post office in person and waited an hour to talk to someone who gave me this number. And I called this number, waited 20 minutes to talk to someone for nothing. I don't know what to do now. This is ridiculous. I drove all the way down here to Sappington, which is on the other side of the county, where I happen to mail Scott's thing from. I'm going to go in there and complain or ask them what the heck's going on, what can I do, and then I might get a little money out of the ATM at the grocery store because gas is going up. It was $2.10, now it's $2.34 a gallon. 85 degrees Fahrenheit, 29 degrees centigrade. Well, the day just got worse and worse and worse as it progressed. Awfully hot in the car. A couple places I stopped looking for something and nobody had it. But you have to wander in and look toward the back of the store where it would be, you know, that kind of thing. It's a lot of time wasted. It was hot and miserable. I ended up stopping at Trader Joe's because I was out that neck of the woods, and I had basically wanted to get more sunflower seeds and some orange juice. I ended up getting coffee and milk and orange chicken. I had a list too, and I looked at it, but my brain was so fried because I only had 1 hour of sleep last night. And now I probably won't sleep now because I dozed off after eating supper, and my brother Richard called. And it's all bad news. He can't, oh, I'm trying to call our other brother, David, and he won't answer. Well, duh, every time you call it's bad news. I said, well, what bad news is it this time? Well, it's not bad news. I said, what? He goes, well, we received a thing in the mail. And I said, what? Well, it's a bill. I said, that's bad news, Rick. If you don't have the money for it, it's bad news. He's $700 in debt to the phone company because he missed a payment, and then he didn't think about it, and then he didn't do it, and then Mom's account was really low, and so they're $700 behind with the phone. I said, are you as far behind with all the other bills as you are the phone? Yeah. They pay the note on this house. I had an agreement with Mom. It's a long story. Mom had me sign over my house at my divorce. This is 19 years ago. So that money was used to put onto this house where I'm living. And it's not paid off or anything. It's just still in the works. And I've been living here and keeping up it myself and paying for replacements. You know, paying for things to be repaired. I paid for the furnace to be repaired and the air conditioner. At one time, it's not working again, and I paid for the drain to be snaked out because we sit on a low spot at this house, and every 2 years you need to have the line snaked out. And I had a new garbage disposal put in. I bought the garbage disposal. Someone that I know kindly put it in for me. But it's just one thing after another, and now it's like I could be in the street without even knowing. I could have cops show up at the door and tell me to leave. I think that's kind of stressful, don't you? And maybe it's a good thing that I do go online and I look at other places and see what you can get for so much money. I don't have that much money. And when I was at Mom's house the other day, and I told her about my hobby, and I showed her stuff on the internet, and you know, she doesn't get out. Instead of looking at all the cute little kids of people that I know and making nice little comments or smiling or anything, she just says, "Where do you think you're going to get $50,000? Where do you think how do you think you're going to do this? You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that." It's the same old narcissistic crap. And it's just like sticking little knives in me. By the time I left her house, I was metaphorically bleeding out. And I don't have air conditioning on here. I had a fan on, but someone in the neighborhood's smoking up a storm and I can't breathe when I'm around that. So I had to turn the fan off. I don't want to just sound like I'm complaining. But I actually fell asleep after eating. And then Richard wakes me up. It's typical, typical, typical. More bad news, more bad news. It's like, I need help. I'm trying the best I can. And where did I think I was going to be 10 years? It's almost 10 years of vlogging. Almost. When I started, where did I think it was going to end up? I didn't have any thoughts to it. I did it because it helped me emotionally. Like I do community theater, whether I'm behind stage or on stage. To me, it's like getting out your frustrations and escaping for that short period of time without it being drugs or booze. You know, it's a healthier way of escaping and coming back to reality. But you can at least get away from it all for a little bit. I don't know what to do. I guess I just keep plugging. Is there stuff I meant? Oh, yeah, the letter, the post office said, well, there's nothing they can do. And they're not even going to think about trying to do anything. In other words, that $52 check to Scott is gone. So I'm going to have to try to contact the state of Missouri to see if they'll reissue it. If they won't, then we're out that money. Or Scott is out that money. I have to figure out how I can get stuff together to sell it or something. I'm not desperate yet, but I have a feeling things aren't going to get any better because my brother Richard is happy, joy. Upward and onward.